Hello and welcome to a PCGS unboxing video. We've got world coins for you all today. If you enjoy the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Only about 10% of you are subscribed, so I really appreciate if you like the videos to consider subscribing. All right, let's. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get into it. So this is an eclectic assortment of coins that we have. PCGS was running a special, so I took some of my nicest world coins and decided to send them in. Some of these, they just sell easier when they're in PCGS slabs, so it makes it worth it. You get a nice premium on them. This one, I feel like it's pretty tough to grade. The surface is uneven. You can kind of see it has a texture to it, so I feel like contact marks probably don't show up as well. I think maybe the framing and the strength of the strike makes a difference. If you can see, this one struck a little bit better, and this one is. It's also centered a little bit better. You've got more of the dots. They aren't cut off. These are metal alignment, so you don't need to turn them upside down. But I submitted a bunch of these. I just grabbed two as a kind of a, I didn't think you'd want to see the same coin over and over and over again. So if you want to guess, I've kind of given away that I think that this one is a nicer one than this one, but I thought they were both Unk was my prediction. And so MS64, pretty happy with that. And MS63, pretty happy with both those. Probably will end up profiting 20 to 40 bucks each. So, nothing crazy, but nothing to complain about either. Hopefully you can't see the grade. Good. Okay. So next up we have from Great Britain, or the United Kingdom. We've got a 2 pence, 2D, from 1885. Those other coins were from the mid 19th century as well, the 1860s. So this is a lovely coin. I had a few of these. I sold most of them raw, but this one just kind of didn't sell. I was asking a little bit more for it because it was the nicest and nobody bought it. They just wanted the cheap ones. And wow, PL 66. I had this as a 65. So, but I mean, it does look flawless. I think PL is a little generous, but beautiful coin. This one I think I'll do pretty well on. These. There was a recent sale in a 65 for $800, but I think that is not the norm. I think it's more in the close to the 200 to 300 kind of dollar range. But still, I was expecting more for it to not be quite that nice. All right, next up we've got something much older. Look at that, 1100 to 1200. It's a denier from Antioch, and it's a Crusader. Got a helmeted Crusader. I submitted a couple of these as well. These seem to sell much better when they're slabbed than raw. You get the premium increase is higher than the cost to get them slabbed, especially when they're nicer. I was a little worried that this one would get details, just because you kind of look at it and you see how dark the surface is. But both are pretty nice examples. I believe I had this as a VF35, so that's good. And my sticker's not big enough here so they kind of switched the ones with the environmental damage. I don't know, there must be something with the surface here, but it's not too big a deal. I actually find that people really just like to have this coin. This coin's super cool. It's a real piece of history. But they'll probably sell for around the same price, just because one is higher grade but detailed. For these, details doesn't seem to hurt the price as much as it does on, say, a US coin. One thing I thought was interesting though about PCGS, I don't know if can you spot the difference between the two? They used a 3-prong holder for this one. It doesn't move around. This one, it's pressed up against the front of the holder. There's some sort of, it's very hard to see, but there's a thin sheet of plastic in between the ring and the front of the case, and I don't like it. It moves. The coin moves around. They all came to me up here, and you can also see that it scratches. These little scratches here are from, because the coin was up here, and as it moves around it scratches it up, which I don't think is good for the coin and definitely isn't good for the holder. I hope PCGS doesn't continue doing this. You can see, here's one, this is how it came. I thought that it had like fallen out, but it's not totally loose in there, it's pressed up. So if you like hit it, it like comes down, but it rotates the coin. Like this wasn't, yeah, so that's not my favorite. I'm hoping, I'm not sure if I'm gonna see if that's a mech error or what, but I hate calling them and bothering them, but like, this is a little frustrating. You know, you pay, I guess with the discount it was about 20, well with shipping and everything it's still about $25 to $30 a coin. So it is a little bit frustrating when you get stuff like this, because when I sell it, you know, it's gonna, the same thing's gonna happen shipping. It's gonna move over here, and then I'm gonna get complaints from the buyer. But sorry for the digression. So here we have a nice, I believe this is from Hungary, 1540. So it's a pretty old, see there's the date, 1540. I had this as an AU. You could probably see on the label. So they said extreme clipping AU detail. I don't know about extreme clipping. I think what they're referring to is there's a little bit missing there. I thought that was kind of a flan strike error. I've looked up pictures of this coin. It's not any bigger. It's not like the coin's supposed to be, you know, that big and it was clipped down. So I don't know EXC. I don't know what, I'm kind of confused by the extreme clipping here. I mean, if you wanted to say like damage there, I think that's just the way it was, but you can't win them all. That one I will lose money on. That is not a winner. All right, next up, we got something interesting for you. We've got some Iranian gold, 1976. It's beautiful. It's a pretty common piece of gold, pretty nice design. I had this as a 65. I was hoping maybe even a little bit higher. I was wrong. Two fronts there. But I will probably, I don't know, the gold's gone up so much since I sent this submission off. I think I'll still probably make some money. All right, next up we have this lovely, I mean beautiful Canadian half dollar. You know, I get a lot of Canadian silver in, and this one just really stood out to me. I think it was an OGP. I think I broke it out, and it just like looked flawless. I mean, trying to make sure that you can see there's no contact marks. And these, you know, they don't really have much value because this is not a terribly rare date, 1958. So they don't have much value in lower MS, but I thought this had a pretty good shot at like a 66, 67, something like that. But UNC detail. So that's not great. All right, now we're back to across the pond. Charles II, 3 pence. Some nice toning to it. 1672. I had this as XF45. AU53. Nice. I guess that is, seems like a pretty solid grade to me. Got a nice amount of luster. It's a pretty coin, pretty old coin, not too common. All right, last but not least. All right, still in Europe. We're in Germany. This is 50 Pfennig. Pfennig. 1877. Some, it's got some nice toning, a little thick, but a tougher coin to find uncirculated. I had this as MS, lower MS. I mean, I don't get as specific in guessing the grades on these because I think it's a bit more of a crapshoot. MS63, so close enough. So that's what I've got for today. I do have the other half of the submission that I will be uploading. I've been trying to upload every 2 weeks. I've also been thinking of doing I've been thinking of doing a video kind of discussing more about how I got into the buying and selling of coins, if that would be interesting. If you have any questions of how I got into it and kind of how I purchase them, and maybe doing some sort of like video like that. But otherwise, next up, we'll have more kind of world coins, and then I have a submission at CAC right now, so that'll be just to kind of giving a preview of the next 2 or 3 videos will be that. But if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer questions in the comments. I really enjoy the questions that I've gotten, and if there's any ways I can improve the format of the video, I'm anxious to make my videos better. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you enjoyed the variety, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.